Okay, second grade, this is for number 2, do a paper weaving. And so I have finally gotten these strips of colored paper ready for you. You're gonna need a background sheet, or you're gonna need one full sheet of paper. I'm choosing black since there are a lot of colored strips of paper, but they're not black. So that's one thing you will also need. You're also going to need a ruler, a pair of scissors, your pencil, and that's all for right now, just to get started. So what you're gonna do with your paper, your big blank paper first, is you wanna take the short side and the short side and fold it in half. So put those two sides together. Then the reason you need a ruler is because you need to draw a line. So I'm gonna put the ruler up at the top of this paper, so right up against the edge. I'm not drawing on that side. And then I'm gonna draw on the bottom edge of the ruler across the paper, okay? I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that on camera very well, but that's what you need to do. You can see it without. Then you're gonna take your scissors and you're gonna cut up to that line, and you wanna just touch that line, not go past it very far, maybe just a pinch. And you wanna cut strips that are straight down the edge, as evenly spaced as you can. I would probably make them about a couple fingers wide, so you're not making too many. And your last one may be a little skinnier because of the way that you space them. It's not gonna be perfect, that's okay. All right, once you do that, unfold it, and you'll see now that you have these loose pieces to stick the paper in and out of. You'll pick your first color, and the first strip will go over the first line here. So you're gonna go over it, but the second one you will go under. And it's a pattern, so you're going over, under, all the way across. So I'm going over that one, under this one, and over on the last one. And then I'm gonna push this up to the very top, and I'm gonna pick a second color. And so whatever color you pick second will go opposite of the orange one. So we went over first on the orange strip. The yellow one will go under the first one. So I'm gonna lift this up and carefully stick this through under the first one, over the second one, under the third one, over the fourth one, under, over, and under. And that's really how you do a weaving. You always flip. So over, under, over, under, over, under, over. And then the last strip will be the next strip would be the opposite. Under, over, under, over, under, over, under. And then the third strip will go back to copying what you did on the first strip. So I'm just gonna stick with warm colors, and I'm gonna go back over on the third one and under and finish my weaving out, and then I'll show you what to do next. Now, when you're all finished putting your strips of paper in, you'll be able to see if it's correct or not pretty easily because it looks like a checkerboard. So you can tell, well, there's a color, there's black, there's a color, there's black, or there's a color, there's black, there's a color, there's black. What I would suggest doing is getting a bottle of glue, or a tub of glue, sorry, and just dab a little bit of glue under each one of these so that they will actually stay in place and not come out. So you lift these up and just put them. Now the ones on the back, you just gotta flip it over and put them under those two. Now that's how you create a weaving. When you're finished with this weaving, you can easily turn this into like a little rug. And if you take a hole punch between this straight piece then that curves up and the bottom part where there's a hole, you can punch along the edge. And there are some yarn scraps over in the drawer in the collage area, which I can show you if you don't find them. And you can take your yarn scraps and tie them on the end to kind of make this into a rug. So if you just take it and tie it on through the holes, you'll have these little like fringy pieces that kind of make it look more like you turned it into something rather than just a plain weaving. On this example, I made a bug on the rug. So I made a little ladybug out of the scraps of paper in the scrap drawers. You could do that, or you can make a different bug, you can make a lizard, whatever you want to put on it is fine. And you can see I started to tie the pieces of yarn on that as well. So that's basically how you create a weaving using your paper. All right, one more thing I almost forgot, but when you finish tying these on, you may have to go back and trim some of them because this one is like really long, a little bit too long. And so if you have some that are a little too long, you can go back and kind of trim them. If it's still a piece you could use and tie on, go ahead and put it back in the drawer where you found the other yarn. Another idea I had was, what if you got a white piece of paper, traced a circle on it, cut it out, and made it like a placemat, and your plate would be this white piece of paper, and you would maybe draw like your meal on here and glue down like a placemat, and you could put a little knife and a little fork and a little spoon, maybe a little napkin or a cup up here that you cut out and glue down like a placemat. So you could turn this weaving into multiple things, where you could do a bug on a rug, you could do it as a meal placemat. So either one would even be fun to do. So you could choose which you prefer. All right, have fun making one.